Before you spoke a single word, before your heart knew its first beat, your true name was recorded not in the mundane registers of man, but in a celestial archive beyond the reach of human error. This wasn't a casual entry made by earthly scribes or philosophers, but a profound declaration set down by Enoch, the legendary figure who walked so closely with the divine that he bypassed the grip of death itself. He knew you. He wrote about the very path you are walking, about the invisible seal that was pressed onto your spirit long ago. And yet, for so long, you chose to look away. You tried to muffle that persistent inner voice, to pretend the echo wasn't there. But the inescapable truth remains. What was eternally inscribed cannot be unwritten. No passage of time, no act of denial, no depth of fear holds the power to erase it. Tonight, that record, those words you've tried so hard to ignore, are not just returning. They are reverberating with an undeniable force, louder and more insistent than ever before. Can you feel it? That profound stirring deep within your core, that undeniable sense that something ancient and monumental is demanding entry into your current reality. That isn't mere chance or emotional instability. It is the soul's remembrance. My role is simply to be a conduit, a name like Levi Beru, sent as a clear guiding thread, a signal that you are not undergoing this intense awakening in isolation. I haven't arrived to offer fleeting entertainment, or to dazzle you with grand pronouncements, but to serve as a mirror, reflecting back to you what the celestial realms have never once forgotten. Every minute you continue to breathe on this earth is a living testament that the prophecy is actively alive within your very being. And by the time this message concludes, you will grasp precisely why attempting to sidestep your destiny was never a viable option. This intense communication is designed to bypass your logical mind and speak directly to your spirit. It is the frequency that underlies all other sounds, a sacred call so potent that no amount of human-made silence or distraction can truly bury it. I urge you to remain with me for the duration, because the profound realization I am about to share has the power to fundamentally shatter the way you perceive your entire identity. And before we dive deeper into this sacred text, I ask you to join in a small, symbolic act. I need you to participate in something that is not just a digital interaction, but a spiritual declaration. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet connected, and most importantly, I want you to comment the number 99. Why 99? Because it stands as the profound reminder that the shepherd willingly leaves the secure flock of 99 to relentlessly pursue and retrieve the single one who felt lost. You are no longer lost. You are in the process of being found, called back into a divine and perfect alignment. By typing 99, you are declaring your readiness for this final, undeniable summons. The time is now. The prophecy of Enoch is unfolding once more, and its central forgotten manuscript is focused squarely on you. This text wasn't painstakingly drafted for the meticulous eyes of academic scholars, nor was it intended for the casual intellectual curiosity of passing historians. It was written in a language far more ancient and enduring than ink and fragile parchment, a language that speaks of eternity itself. Enoch didn't merely document grand celestial battles or the movements of mythical beings. His true, profound revelation centered on a hidden lineage, a specific generation who were marked with a seal before their first conscious thought, chosen before they even had the capacity to open their eyes to the light. This extraordinary account was never meant for the self-appointed mighty kings who commanded massive armies, nor for the solemn priests who were adorned in expensive authoritative robes. It was a clear testimony dedicated entirely to ordinary women and men, people who appear unremarkable when they glance into a standard mirror, yet who inherently carry an invisible, potent seal, engraved deeply into the fabric of their spirit. That specific mark is completely undetectable to the physical eye, but the celestial realm perceives it instantly. And the kingdom of darkness? It fears and cannot possibly ignore it. And here lies the crux of the entire mystery. You are unequivocally one of them. You have spent countless years tirelessly attempting to blend into the background, trying to suffocate your deepest, most urgent questions under mountains of mundane daily routines, desperately trying to quiet that nagging, strange feeling that your life was destined for something exponentially greater. But the hidden manuscript had already laid out your fate. Enoch saw and wrote about those who would possess a spiritual inability to truly disappear, even when they begged for the deep comfort of anonymity. He foresaw a distinct generation that would navigate this world like shadows made of light, instantly recognizable to unseen forces, marked by a blazing inner fire that darkness instinctively avoids approaching. This is the precise reason why unusual occurrences have always clustered around you. This is why certain people react intensely to your mere presence without having any logical reason. Some feeling an immediate, inexplicable draw, others feeling profoundly disturbed. They don't grasp the reason, but the spiritual realm knows implicitly. Your existence, the entire intricate sequence of your days, was never left to random happenstance. The prophecy clearly hinted that the chosen ones would carry an agonizing spiritual hunger that no earthly accomplishment or pleasure could ever satisfy, and a deep thirst that no river of human success could truly quench. You are intimately familiar with that sensation, that constant underlying restlessness. Understand this: it is not a sign of weakness or flaw. It is irrefutable evidence. It is the absolute proof that your soul retains a flawless memory of what your conscious mind has allowed itself to forget. Every profound loss, every unexpected delay, every single unanswered prayer you have experienced has been, in reality, a deliberate thread, weaving you ever closer to that perfectly hidden, ancient design. The truth can be deeply unsettling, can it? To finally realize that the countless frustrating twists and turns you categorized as mere accidents were, in fact, precisely measured footsteps, echoing through a pre-written eternal script. You were never alone when you stumbled. You were being expertly and lovingly positioned. Yet, here is where the spiritual gravity of this message must settle. To actively ignore this profound truth does not in any way cause it to vanish. You can dedicate your remaining years to living as if you were not chosen, but your life will inevitably betray that attempt. The fleeting things that offer satisfaction to others will always leave you with a profound sense of hollowness. The doors that swing open easily for your peers will consistently slam shut for you, because the overarching narrative of your story is being directed by a force infinitely larger than blind. Chance Enoch issued a clear warning that the chosen would carry a specific, unique pressure unknown to the majority of the world. At times, it would manifest as an acute feeling of exile, a profound sense of being perpetually out of sync with the relentless rhythm of the crowd. But this was never true rejection. It was a sacred alignment. The manuscript clearly foresaw this inescapable dissonance, a profound, holy friction designed specifically to prevent you from being utterly consumed by the suffocating waters of mediocrity. Take a moment to truly reflect. Haven't you noticed that simply surviving, merely existing, has never felt sufficient for you? That somewhere, locked deep inside, you ache for something far more significant than material comfort. You crave undeniable purpose. That ceaseless craving is not a personal deficit. It is the undeniable fingerprint of prophecy, etched onto the very core of your soul. Heaven itself deliberately encoded it within you at your creation. And if you listen with the ears of your spirit, you will realize that the manuscript was never about dusty, distant, forgotten legends. It was about a living, breathing generation that would finally awaken in the ultimate hour. You are hearing these very words right now because you are an undeniable part of that sacred record. So, I must pose a critical question to your soul. What exactly happens when the powerful words of a prophet, written down millennia ago, suddenly collide with the fierce, present heartbeat within your chest? What is the profound consequence when you suddenly realize that the ancient book you never bothered to read is, in fact, already and actively reading you? This is the immense weight of the forgotten manuscript, and the deeper we explore, the more chillingly clear it becomes. You were never, ever overlooked. You were always undeniably written. And the single most pressing question confronting your entire existence tonight is this: will you, at long last, accept that what was recorded about you from the beginning of time cannot be undone? Or will you choose to resist this truth yet again, until the very manuscript itself is forced to rise up and confront you in ways that you will simply be unable to rationalize or ignore? The hour of that fundamental choice is quickly approaching, closer than you can imagine, and the echo of that decision will not indefinitely wait for your convenience. The eternal seal you possess is not merely a superficial etching upon your skin, nor is it written on the visible surface of your physical body, where common human eyes could detect it. It is permanently burned into the deepest, most inaccessible layers of your spirit. It is a defining mark that predates your very first breath, a sign even older than the moment your parents conceived you. Enoch observed this mark long before your physical manifestation. He meticulously described it as an intense light far too fierce to be successfully concealed, a powerful radiance that inevitably leaks through your eyes. Even when you instinctively try to lower your gaze, it shines even when you force a strained smile onto your face in a desperate attempt to disguise the inner spiritual storm. And this is precisely why, no matter how many countless times you've attempted to dissolve your individuality into the vast, anonymous crowd, there has always been a distinct, unmistakable quality about you that immediately betrays your efforts at achieving invisibility. Heaven recognizes you instantly, and the entire kingdom of darkness is utterly unable to disregard you. Reflect for a moment. You have sincerely tried to adopt the ways of everyone else. You have earnestly attempted to settle for the life that was conveniently handed to you. The path others convinced you was perfectly sufficient. But these attempts never last, do they? Jobs that initially showed great promise suddenly collapse. Relationships that once felt like a sanctuary invariably dissolve. The fleeting hobbies, the endless distractions, the temporary pleasures. They offer a momentary reprieve but then quickly collapse into a terrifying emptiness. Why does this pattern persist? Because you are carrying an eternal seal that fiercely refuses to allow you to become comfortable and settle for less than your destiny. That oppressive heaviness you occasionally feel on your chest in the profound silence of the night. It is not merely anxiety. It is not a mental lapse, and it is certainly not a coincidence. It is eternity itself pressing down upon you, actively reminding you of the ancient, powerful sound of your name resonating across infinite dimensions. That persistent echo will not allow you to find true, lasting rest, because it flawlessly knows what you were ultimately created to become. Enoch clearly foresaw this intense inner struggle. He wrote that the chosen would spend time attempting to negotiate with their divine calling, trying to perpetually delay it, trying to bury it under thick layers of elaborate excuses and paralyzing fear. But destiny is not open to negotiation. Destiny simply waits. And when you actively choose to resist it, your life begins to violently unravel around you, until you are left with no possible alternative but to face head-on what was always written. This explains why your carefully constructed plans so often disintegrate the precise moment they drift too far from your divine alignment. It's not malicious sabotage. It is a targeted divine interruption. You are not being harshly punished. You are being forcefully redirected. There is also a powerful, spiritual reason why people consistently react so strangely in your presence. Some individuals feel an intense magnetic pull toward you without understanding the source, as if your very presence emits a magnetism completely beyond your conscious control. Others, conversely, withdraw or even react with harsh rejection because something essential about you powerfully unsettles the shadows lurking deep inside them. You have undoubtedly wondered why the atmosphere in a room seems to shift profoundly when you walk in. You've questioned why strangers often hold your gaze, why casual conversations sometimes grow unexpectedly heavy, why you always feel like you don't completely belong anywhere. It is all because the seal is vibrantly alive, radiating through you, and actively reshaping the spiritual space that surrounds you. You lack the power to erase it. You cannot successfully mute its call. It is speaking on your behalf even when your own lips remain deliberately closed. Yet here is the paradoxical mystery. The seal is simultaneously a spiritual weight and an incalculable gift. At certain moments, it feels absolutely unbearable, pressing you down until you feel entirely suffocated. Yet, at other times, it fiercely ignites a powerful fire within you, granting you a strength that no one else can rationally explain. That inherent contradiction is a deliberate part of its fundamental design. It is the unwavering hand of heaven constantly reminding you that you are fundamentally not ordinary, and that you cannot possibly afford to remain spiritually asleep while your true name is vibrating. In the eternal halls of existence, Enoch wrote that this powerful mark would be intensely feared by hell because the forces of darkness instantly recognize what mere humans cannot see. They perceive the flame that hovers just above you. They hear the undeniable echo that is permanently written into the depths of your soul. This is the precise reason why spiritual attacks persist. This is why resistance to your movement constantly rises, because darkness knows exactly what you carry, even when you strain every fiber of your being to deny it. And now, the tension between your choice and your destiny sharpens dramatically. You retain the power to resist, to delay, to bury your true self in an endless stream of digital and physical distractions. But destiny possesses an unfailing way of circling back. It will tirelessly chase you into your deepest silence. It will relentlessly find you in every hiding place you construct. It will ultimately strip away your self-made disguises until you are forced into an unavoidable, direct confrontation with the fundamental truth. You are marked, and absolutely nothing you attempt to do can erase the eternal seal that eternity itself has stamped upon your spirit. So, allow me to ask you this directly. How much longer do you intend to keep running from a spiritual reality that already knows and governs your every step? How much longer will you pretend that the heavy, persistent weight pressing down on your spirit is just a fleeting feeling, when it is, in undeniable fact, a direct and absolute summons? The seal will not fade into obscurity. It will only grow exponentially stronger until its presence becomes utterly undeniable. And perhaps, just perhaps, this is the very reason why you are here, listening to these final words right now. You are standing directly at the threshold, where further running is no longer spiritually possible, and the only remaining question is whether you will finally choose to answer. Destiny has found you again,